Investigators are going to continue their search for Suzanne Morphew today after their efforts turned up no new information yesterday. The 49-year-old mother has been missing for 2 weeks. Neighbors say she went for a bike ride near her Chaffee County home on Mother's Day and never came back. Now, the search for her is focusing on a residential construction site. Rick Salinger talked with the property owner who told him Suzanne's husband was hired to lay dirt on riverfront land located east of Salida. Here's what Rick got when asking authorities about the investigation.
Can you fill me in?
No, sir.
This is a look from above at the riverfront property along the Arkansas. For the past 3 days, an FBI response team has been digging through concrete and dirt. The plan is to continue today. The Chaffee County Sheriff said despite rumors, no body has been found and no arrests have been made. The large Morphew home was outside of Maysville. It does remain sealed off. Previous searches there at a nearby reservoir have failed to turn up the missing woman.
Super sad. I mean, it's terrible. It's a small community, she ate at our restaurant all the time.
A human being standpoint where, you feel first and foremost for the family.
Friends and family are offering a $200,000 reward for information which leads to Morphew's safe return. Anyone with information in the case is asked to call the tip line. You can find that number at cbsdenver.com.
Welcome, everyone. How we doing? Wow. A lot of people. I'm going to go through as many people as I can. If I repeat you, I apologize. I am not used to having this many people waiting, but I am very, very grateful. Thank you for joining me tonight. Norma Thomas. And I have been looking over chat while I've been waiting for this information before I get started. I do want to apologize to everybody for waiting. For making you wait. I was waiting on some very vital information for this particular stream. And it's what I wanted to start with. So I'll get into that in just a second. But so I do apologize for making everyone wait. But I am very grateful that you're all here. And thank you so much. Norma Thomas, how we doing? Chicken head cannon. All right. J is for joke. Oh man. If you weren't so fucking funny, I wouldn't have you in here. I'm telling you right now, because I'm not trying to start shit with anybody. But at the same time, I mean, whether I like it or not, that's gonna happen because I'm about to debunk a few things, and that might ruffle a few feathers, and me, I don't really give a shit. So we're gonna see where this goes, and I hope everyone enjoys themselves, because again, this is solely for entertainment. But hold on, let me say hi to everybody first. That girl, all right, Shelly Nelson, Lori A. All right. Jesus, man, this chat is live, man. Starry Night, how we doing? Jay is for jumping to conclusions. Tracy Davis. Okay, man. Wow, Jesus. Christy Wright, Truth Bomber, welcome. And I know I saw Ted RX in here. Oh, there he is. Now, guys, I don't want to make any promises, but I may have a special guest tonight. I may or may not. We'll see. I don't know. I'm hoping so. The invite was cast, so hopefully, we all have a little fun tonight. Sandy Jersey girl, what up? Let's see. All right, fake Teddy's in the house. Pink Sugar. All right. If I missed anybody, I do apologize. Yvette, it's good to see you. And for everybody new, Rosalind is not new, but welcome. It's good to see you. 1 hour drive floor. It's been a minute. Firefly. All right. Shayna. Soulless Twist. All right. Tracy L. Dawn Marie. A lot of familiar faces, a lot of familiar names, Bebop. All right. Julie Crinky? The elephant in the room. Okay. Marissa Anderson, it's good to see you too. All right. If I missed anybody, I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm not used to naming so many names when I do that at the beginning of a live. But anyways, so guys, we have had quite a couple of days here on the old YouTube. This wonderful platform, this beautiful, amazing platform that we have that allows us access to basically put out whatever we want. I mean, it is hardly restricted. You just can't put out something that somebody else put out. You understand what I'm saying? Other than that, pretty much everything's fair game, and you're even allowed to do that a little bit. But, and obviously, there's porn sites for that. But here, you get to pretty much say whatever you want and do whatever you want. And that's awesome. But unfortunately, I'm a big freedom of speech guy, so I'm not going to really say unfortunately necessarily, but or I will say that unfortunately, some people take that as free reign to behave irresponsibly. We have something in our society, the glue in our society is this thing called civilization. Right? That is when the act of being civilized is put into effect and causes something to run in a very, very effective manner and in a harmonious manner. Right? So, what's up, Caleb? So, yeah, I always say, and this is for my new viewers, but and just to remind my the ones that have been with me for a long time. I mean, we have a responsibility, guys. We have a responsibility to a personal responsibility to ourselves, to do ourselves good, is to put out as much productivity into your environment. Not necessarily positivity. Sometimes productivity can be a little negative, doesn't feel real good, but sometimes it's necessary to put out there. But in my opinion, this platform is a gift. And we have an opportunity to use this platform in a very, very productive manner. And there's a lot of families out there. We do this little thing here. We do this little thing called true crime, right? And it's become more of a genre than it has the simple fact that we tend to forget the simple fact that these are real people with families that are hurting real bad, that are experiencing something that the reason why you take interest is why they're hurting. Because you sit there and you hope to God that you never ever have to go through what they're going through. Every single person here. Or at least that's what you should be doing. That's what you should be thinking. You should be 150% grateful that you are not having to go through that. And see, I choose to try to understand it better. But I can't understand it better when I'm bombarded with rumors and I'm bombarded with things that are not true. I'm bombarded with with over speculation. And speculation is understandable. Again, guys, this is, when we take an interest in something, even when something is important and it involves serious things, there's no reason why we can't take pleasure in it in some way. And I choose to take pleasure in trying to understand it better. But I can't by definition do that unless I actually have facts to base these things on. To base my speculation on. Because if you're speculating on something that does not exist or never did and never will, well then, for the layman out there, that's just making shit up. And you're making shit up about people who just lost somebody. So I do my very best not to do that. And I get it, man. It's a hard balance, dude. I know that I'm the YouTuber in diapers, and I'm definitely in diapers when it comes to doing true crime. Definitely in diapers. And I'm not taking this channel fully to a true crime place. That's not what I'm doing here. But it's interesting to me. It's interesting to me. And I know that a lot of people that I talk to on here and join my chat, it's interesting to them too. But I feel like if I'm going to be up here talking about it, I owe them something. I have a responsibility to everybody that is logged on right now on this channel and watching me right now. I have a responsibility to every single one of you. And that responsibility is to deliver you facts. I can deliver you my opinions, but not if they're not opinions on those facts. I owe you that much just for logging on. And if I'm going to gain views, if I'm going to gain subscribers, I don't want to do it by grabbing, as my friend Colton Harris Moore put it, low-hanging fruit. I don't want to take low-hanging fruit. I want to be at the top of the tree at all times. Work my way down if I have to, but I always want to be at the top of the tree at all times. And you got to climb there. Sometimes you got to fall off, break a bone, but you got to climb there. And climbing there does not mean just sitting up here and spewing out garbage out of my mouth because I can. So I'm going to go over some things now, guys. This is why I waited. I'm sorry that I made you guys wait for so long, but I was waiting for a couple of emails. I have a source that does a lot of digging. This is somebody who is actually a certified advocate for victims. And I trust them, but they're very new. Again, I'm trusting them enough to read the information that they're sharing with me. I'm trusting them enough for that. And we're going to see. Again, guys, you know me, man. I like to take risks, man. I like to get up here and I don't like to have a plan. And I like to just talk and see what happens. And then hopefully I connect with you guys. And I like when I play videos, it's always the first time I've watched that video. I'm experiencing that with you. So you guys are going to experience this new source with me is what you're going to do. So I am willing to completely and totally put my ass out there here because I am accountable. I am putting this stuff out there as fact. All right. So again, we as I heard another YouTuber say, we're always going to be accountable for our words. Right. So I'm very, very cool with that. I'm very, very okay with that. But like I said, guys, this is the first time this person I asked them to do me a big favor, and I said, do me like I'm stupid, because I kind of am a little bit. You know, I got a little wisdom and a little bit of a gift of gab. I'm aware of that. I get that, but I'm not exactly, I'm not exactly a scholar. So, and that comes out a lot of times when I talk, but this person put this in a format. So I'm basically just going to be reading. So these are not my words. These are my sources' words, and I'm just going to kind of read it to you. And these are the rumors. I asked her to separate rumors from confirmed facts, because I want to lay it out real simple here, guys. This is what I feel has been promised and not delivered by way too many YouTubers in the last few days. Can we agree on that? And this isn't to shit on them. I'm saying, if you want facts, up your standards. I'm talking to you, the listener. If you want facts, up your standards. I mean, it's not that hard, guys. I mean, you can't go to places that are rumored to just speculate on things that just aren't true and have been debunked. You can't go run into channels like that and then get disappointed when it happens again. You can't do that. I mean, that's on you. Can't blame the other person for trying. That's how I see it. I don't blame the creator so much. I mean, yeah, a little bit, but they wouldn't put the shit out there if you weren't going to feed to it like a frenzy. Come on, let's be real. So I think everybody here has a little bit to be accountable for. We all do. I think we all do. Who knows? Maybe after this, I'll have a lot to be accountable for. Who knows? So, all right. So on the 11th of this month, we heard the breaking news that a mother of 2 girls and a wife who had survived cancer twice was reported missing on Mother's Day. 24 hours later is when the public found out. Mother's Day, is it really the day she went missing? The 8th is the last time anyone saw. And, oh wait, someone saw her, but who? Again, I've never read this before, guys. I was waiting for this email when I was waiting to go on, so bear with me. Bury the husband or a stalker, or wait, her nephew by marriage name is now being thrown in the mix, not by law enforcement. Widespread reports have said her body has been found twice now. Gossip Line says there are 3 persons of interest who is misleading, who is law enforcement, but not saying a word at all. The people calling and telling their stories, are they after 15 minutes of the cost of Suzanne's daughter's emotions and pain? We don't even know if Barry went to Denver or not. The law enforcement got a tip leading them to that job site by a female who is supposed to be one of 3 persons of interest. Now, mind you guys, this entire email that I'm reading right now are the rumors that are out right now. These are specifically rumors. I wanted to go over those first before I went over the facts. So I don't know if I made that clear before I started here, but this is a summary of the rumors that we have heard so far online. So a rumor is that law enforcement got a tip leading them to the job site by a female who is supposedly one of 3 persons of interest. That is still a rumor. It is like a game of Clue to the world right now in the basement with a gun and husband, maid, and butler who all did it together. There was a construction worker arrested so far. He is illegally in the country with a criminal past. The next is the prisoner who has been released because of COVID. Her bike was broke. How could she have taken a bike ride? Someone texted from the phone on Mother's Day, but who, and did it really happen? Because the family was worried enough to reach out to a neighbor. A stalker could have done this as well. The husband and the nephew who set up the GoFundMe account did it for the life insurance money. So, yeah, Those are some pretty nasty accusations, guys. I mean, let's think about that for a second, right? Let's so far, we really don't have much on Barry. And as I understand it, as many people who have gotten the latest from that job site, as I understand it, there has not been a body found. Now, there was an audio that I'm not going to play because I think it's irrelevant considering, but there was an audio that was taken from a hot mic with a reporter, and there was 2 law enforcement in the background, and someone was quoted and saying it's a woman. But that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean that a body was found. That doesn't mean anything. That could be, hey, what do you think of Rosie O'Donnell? Is she really a woman or is she a man? It's a woman. Oh, okay. I mean, that could have been the nature of the entire conversation. So, these are the things we got to be careful of, folks. The minute that you get something like that, first thing people want to do is they want to run to their computer, turn on their computer, go live on YouTube and start talking about it before they know dick about it. Meanwhile, Barry, so far, because I am going to speak of Barry right now, I am going to speak of Barry as someone who is worried and missing his wife, because so far no information has been given to us that makes him look like a criminal that was not hearsay or rumor. Period. I'm not going to sit here and do that. Now, you guys know me. I did the same thing with Letitia Stock on this channel. I did the same thing. While everybody else was crucifying Letitia Stock, and I'm not going to say rightfully so. Just because they were correct about Letitia Stock doesn't mean that they knew that they were going to be correct, because there was no way of knowing. So meanwhile, you're dragging this woman all over the internet. Now, did she behave in a shitty manner? Yeah, of course. And I was one of the first people to say, yeah, the only thing that I see evidence of so far is that Letitia Stock is an asshole. I don't see anything beyond that. I don't see anything saying that she committed a crime yet. But I trust law enforcement. And once law enforcement placed her under arrest, I had enough common sense to understand that law enforcement probably had enough evidence to place her under arrest, something that they believe they could get a conviction on. So, yeah. And now you won't hear me say nice things about Letitia Stock. Now, even though she still has to be convicted in a court of law, you still won't hear me sit here and say that she's guilty necessarily. I might talk about her like she is. I might do that. But now I'll do that. I wouldn't do that before. Again, I trust law enforcement. But yes, she has to be convicted in a court of law. Until that happens, she's not a murderer. In our eyes, if she is, and then it's between her and God and Gannon, who's up in heaven. So, I mean, yeah, so there's all kinds of these rumors, and then there was the why sit there if we don't have any real information on this man's guilt yet, right? How is it scrupulous in any way, shape, or form to sit here and trash the guy Mean Girl style and make fun of him and start spreading a rumor about him wanting to pose for a calendar as if he's this vain piece of shit who's a murderer and murdered his wife in a basement? I mean, that's crazy. And that's also a rumor. It's also a rumor that law enforcement planted that evidence or planted that in social media. That's a vicious rumor. But How would that person know? That's what I want to know. I want to know how did the person that was on that YouTube channel know those kind of grim details about the crime? Where it took place, what weapon was used, where the person was shot, how the person was killed overall. How in blue perfect hell did this person who happened to be on here, who is she to have that kind of information? And here we are, like idiots, listening to law enforcement, listening to reputable news sources. Far be it from us to listen to some person who just happens to say that they know somebody and then gives details of a crime. How do they know the details of that crime? That doesn't make any sense. I mean, so let's go over what I would hope you guys logged on for. All right, so here's a list of confirmed facts, guys. All right. Fact: no one has seen Suzanne. No one did see Suzanne on the 10th. No one saw her riding her bike. So there's absolutely no evidence so far that she actually went on a bike ride on Mother's Day. So we don't know that for a fact. But yeah, the truth is no one has seen her riding a bike. That is a fact. So the daughters, they could not reach Suzanne and called the neighbor to go check on her, who I believe is the stepmother. The neighbor is the stepmother of one of the daughter's best friends. Does that make sense? I'll say that one more time. So my understanding is that the neighbor is the stepmother of one of the daughter's, best friends. And I don't want to say their daughters' names because, they're completely innocent in all this. And I don't want to, their life is probably already difficult. And if I could save them just a little bit of difficulty, I'm going to do that. The neighbor did go to the house, and shortly after getting there to go check on Suzanne, she called 911. That is confirmed as well. Suzanne was reported on Mother's Day, but the news wasn't released publicly until the next day. There was 3 items located on the bike trail that Suzanne was said to have taken. Law enforcement has not confirmed, but the bike nephew, law enforcement has not confirmed the bike nephew. Law enforcement has not confirmed the bike, but the nephew has confirmed the bike. So the bike is one of those things found. I'm of the understanding, I don't have it in front of me, but I'm of the understanding that the phone was actually left behind at the house. It was not found somewhere along the way. So we heard that on another YouTube broadcast yesterday, that the phone was found, but no, I'm of the belief, at least my source is, that the phone was left behind from the start. And I talked about that. I did not find that odd as much as most people did, considering where in Colorado they are and how rural the area is. I can see her taking the phone with her for the reason of wanting to be able to call emergency if something happened. So that I find that to be almost irresponsible to not have taken her phone if that was the case. But I understand one theory I have is and I understand it if it's the case, is because of how rural the area is and because of how woodsy it is. There's a lot of nature around, and she probably wanted to connect with nature. She seemed like the type. She seems like the type. I do not want to speak of her in a past tense. I do apologize for that. She seems like the type. She absolutely seems like the type that wants to be at one with nature and loves to I think she's a glarer, man. And in the sense that she found these principles on her own and kind of uses them more or less as a way to, I feel like she's somebody who is really, really grateful for the nature and everything around her when she's out on a bike ride. I think that's a big part of her experience for that. She just strikes me as the type. So I don't know. It's just a gut feeling I have. But from what I understand, the phone was left at home. And one of them, I think what they did say correctly was a helmet. But that, I mean, that's not listed here as fact. None of the items are listed here as fact, as a matter of fact. So the only thing is confirmed that it's 3 items. So there was no physical description given to law enforcement, just a photo, no height, weight, or clothing details. That's interesting. I mean, why wouldn't that be given? Think about that. So, I mean, I guess I can understand that. What if the neighbor is the one who called 911? See, that makes sense to me, actually, now that I think about it. If the neighbor is the one who called 911, or called her and reported Suzanne missing, it's quite possible that just because the stepmom, just because they were neighbors, she happened to be the stepmom of one of her daughters. It doesn't mean that they ever interacted. It doesn't mean that they knew each other very well. It doesn't mean that they knew each other at all, to be perfectly honest. Not necessarily. They may have never met. So how is this person gonna give an accurate description of someone that they don't know? So and the clothing details obviously indicates that this is somebody who has not seen her, not that day. So she did not go missing that day. This is what this tells me, is she's been missing. As far as I'm concerned, she's been missing since the last time someone had contact with her, and that was on the 8th, to my understanding. So the house was sealed off, and Barry couldn't enter Barry could not enter starting the 10th. So that's absolutely true. And we were all on top of that when all this was going on. Every channel was on top of this. So and a lot of this stuff is going to be stuff that we already know, folks. I'm just confirming them as fact. Okay. Law enforcement told the press that the house was not being searched, but within 24 hours, pictures had shown that they were searching the house. So law enforcement has not been completely honest with the press. Let's keep that in mind too. Law enforcement wants the press to know whatever they want out there, right? And they're going to do that. And that's part of them conducting their investigation. That's part of them collecting evidence. That is very easily assumed to be a method in collecting and organizing the right evidence to get a conviction on a person of interest. So I don't see. I'm not mad at law enforcement for not being honest with the press. I'm not. Which is why I think, it's irresponsible to speculate on things that we don't really know. So let's see. So law enforcement told the fire department that Barry volunteers. And for that, they were not allowed to aid in the search for Suzanne. That right there, I know what a lot of people are thinking. And the first thing that comes to your mind is, well, that tells me that he's a suspect. No, it does not tell you that he's a suspect. It tells you that he's a person of interest. There's a difference. And in cases like this, as we all know, folks, which is the exact excuse that is being used by all these other channels to do their wild speculating. And that is that, oh, thank you, Vicky W. I appreciate that. And that is that, sorry about that. I got distracted by something here. Give me 1 second. Yeah, so they told the firefighters, you know, that's the thing is the very excuse, what I was getting at is the very excuse used is a valid reason for this, because the husband is always the person of interest at first, always. The significant other is always the first person that's looked at. We all know this. That doesn't mean you should crucify the guy right off the bat. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying understand that law enforcement is keeping this in mind, and that is a wise move in that mindset. That mindset of let's simply just kind of chill here, but let's not, it's probably better safe than sorry to not let his buddies aid in the search where they could either taint or, God forbid, be part of the whole thing and end up destroying or hiding evidence. So it's just a wise, safe move when the mindset is, I need to find Suzanne. We need to locate Suzanne and nothing else. I don't give a shit who this person is or that person is or that person is. I'm not taking a chance of anybody messing up our methods in finding Suzanne and getting those results. So that doesn't make him a suspect. It makes them doing something very, very wise. It's just a smart move. The fire department did search on their own, and law enforcement advised them not to do so. Now I can see that too. I could see that on two sides. One could sit there and argue and say, oh, well, you know, now, and that's if you got a pitchfork in your hand, but you could sit there and say, oh, well, that tells me that his buddies or one of his buddies are in on it, and they're determined to get out there and find that evidence and cover it up before law enforcement finds it and implicates them. No, that's not realistic. That's a Lifetime movie. That's not realistic. Realistic is, this is somebody who we care about, and our buddy, somebody who risks his life as a volunteer. He doesn't get paid to be a firefighter. He's a volunteer firefighter. So this guy who risks his neck with us for free because he wants to be that guy to help his friends, this is our buddy. And his wife is missing. So we're going to be goddamned if you're going to tell us that we're not going to help. That's what I'm thinking. Now, I'm not saying Barry's innocent either, because we don't know. But what I'm saying is that's a more realistic scenario. That's a much more realistic scenario that these guys insisted on helping because they felt a loyalty to that family. So let's see. Suzanne moved her charity from India, or I think that's meant to say Indiana, from Indiana to Colorado. Barry is also named in the charity, nonprofit charity that is in good standings when they moved to Colorado 2 years ago. So the charity is still intact. There's no, despite any rumors of embezzlement or anything like that, that charity is still very much intact. There's nothing to indicate anything like that. There's no one. There's no motive here from the charity. Barry has civil court records. He has had charges filed against him from another contractor from a job site. Settled out of court, and Barry agreed to attend classes for the anger problem he displayed that day. He has been involved in lawsuits and other civil cases, him suing them or them suing him. Indiana court records are publicly accessible with Barry's company. These things are not uncommon when you are a business owner. Being sued is not an uncommon thing. As a matter of fact, the first thing that a business owner does when they're purchasing insurance for their place of business, they're purchasing lawsuit insurance just to cover their ass. Because you never know. Somebody always wants to sue somebody. And when you're a business owner and you run construction sites, people are going to get hurt. People are going to get hurt. Now, as to his anger management issue that he seemed to have displayed that day, I don't know. I don't know anything about that. I don't know the details on that, but these court records are they're accessible. They're public record. Now, I have obtained a certain piece of information regarding financials. Okay. And a lot of you guys are not going to like me for this. But when this is all said and done, I'll reveal it. And you're not even going to think it's that big a deal. The problem is that it could be. Right? This is a little piece of information that was given to me. Could be motive, maybe not. But the problem is I still want to give Barry the benefit of the doubt, because this isn't enough for me to think that a man is guilty before law enforcement lets me know more. It's not even close to enough. It's not even close to enough. And when I do reveal this, you're going to go, oh, that's it? Really? Watch. But I do have a piece of information here. I could sit here and I could blow it up. I could sit here for an hour and I could just blow it up, right? And go off about it. But first of all, that would be dishonest, because I don't have anything to go off about. I don't have any reason to look at this and start going, oh man, blah, 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 and then just start watching super chats just fucking blow up. And I could do that. But no, man, I'm looking at the grand scheme of things, man. I'm looking at the grand scheme of things. See, first of all, I'm not a shitbag, or at least I try not to be. And to me, what a shitbag would do is take this little bitty information and do exactly what I just talked about doing. Now, what if I'm doing this about an innocent man? What if I use that and then I start painting this man to be this awful piece of shit, when this doesn't even really do that, but I can make it do that? I have the ability. I have the ability to sit here with a little bit of charisma and some clever little dialogue and dazzle you and make and turn you into thinking that this guy is a piece of shit just by this little bitty piece of information. But nah. Low-hanging fruit. I'm not doing that. Because as far as I'm concerned, this man could still be innocent, and there's nothing proving that he did anything wrong. There's nothing even yet to indicate that a crime has taken place, other than the fact that the bike was broken. Right? So she didn't go out on a bike ride. All right. I'm going to look over chat a little bit, guys. Let's see. What's up, beautiful disaster? What's up, Queenie? Haven't seen you in forever. Malky Mar. Let's see. Lawsuits are cost of doing business with when it comes to business owners. Absolutely. That's just part of it. That's part of being a business owner. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I remember I was a manager for a franchise. I was a manager for a franchise of a very, very large pizza name, right? But it was franchised. And my franchisee, he had one rule. He had one rule for his managers. Besides, obviously, living up to the standard of the brand and delivering the best possible product with the right image, living up to image standards, giving good service. Besides all that, cleanliness, besides all those standards, his main rule, his number one rule over all managers is don't get me sued. Real simple. Don't get me sued. That means use your common sense. Use your common sense. So that's just how that is, people. That's just how that is. Let's see what else we got here. Does anybody have any questions? Yeah, I know Tracy L. But I mean, the problem is I know that that's the right way to go. I give the benefit of the doubt because how do you learn anything if your mind's already made up about something that's not a fact yet? That's scientifically impossible. If your mind is made up about something that you don't know yet, how are you going to learn anything new about it? See, I'd prefer to learn. I'd prefer to learn something. Because the more I learn, the better my wheels turn, baby. You know what I'm saying? The better my ideas get. The better I'm able to lock in on something and understand it better. Right? Yo. So yeah, people, let me see something. Nope. Okay. Yeah, I do not think that my guest that may have been joining us is going to join us tonight. That's okay. That is more than okay. But maybe another time. But yeah, guys, we're going to be talking about this case, and I'm not talking bad about anybody who needs to talk about it. But out of all the different ways and directions you can go in talking about something that everybody's talking about, why choose to go for the way that that is false, that puts out false information? Why do that? I mean, and it sucks because I'm a guy who follows true crime. It's just been an interest of mine. Now I'm taking interest in wanting to do it right. Now I'm taking interest in actually wanting to take it on and start doing it right. You know, because I've lost faith. I've lost faith in so many. And it's funny. There's two creators right now. Well, three. 3 creators right now that I listen to and follow. And it's funny. One of them, we don't get along at all. We don't get along at all. I don't like his personality, and he doesn't like mine, and that's okay. But that doesn't take away from me the fact that he is a fantastic creator. It doesn't take away from that at all. I don't care about his personality when I listen to his channel and what he's doing on his channel. I've actually always been kind of a fan. And I'll tell you, that creator is Gray Hughes. I think Gray Hughes is extremely talented. You know, we don't like each other, you know, because and in all fairness, his first impression of me was me making a jackass of myself. That's fair. I own that 150%, you know, but you know, you live with it. It's fine. You know, and the truth is, I wasn't real impressed with his personality either, but that shit doesn't matter. The problem with people on YouTube is you take shit too personally. And then what happens is you start going to war with each other and you start trying to top each other, right? You start trying to be like, oh my God, you know, this person's doing this. I want to know what they're doing. I've done that. I've done that where I was like, man, fuck that creator. I'm going to, you know, I got to do this because I got to do it first and I got to beat them to it. Because if this person and find out and get your mods to do this and find out what they're up to and blah, 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 blah. Nah, man, I can't live like that, man. I don't have it in me. I don't have it in me to live like that. I tried it. Doesn't work. I tried messing around in the drama community. Didn't work. You know, it's not for me, man. It's not for me. So the casualty of YouTubers getting personal and taking things so personally is it affects their content. It affects the quality of their content. Because here I am loving these true crime creators, and then before you know it, because they don't like each other, it affects their content. The only person I have not seen that happen to, the only 2 other people that I have not seen that happen to is Duty Ron, because Duty Ron is the man. Duty Ron, like he said in my last live, he said, I stay in my own lane, man. He's a retired New York City Police Department detective. Damn sure right, I'm going to listen to what that guy has to say. I'm going to listen to his that's the only speculation I want to hear from. That's the only source that I want to hear speculation from. To be perfectly honest, somebody with that kind of experience, that and Scott Reich. But that third true crime creator, at least I think he's my friend, is John Crimes. And John Crimes, you know, he might dabble a little in the drama community, but he set up a whole nother account for that. He's kept his John Crimes clean, man. John Crimes, you log on to John Crimes and you're getting nothing but crime, baby. You're getting the crime, you're getting the facts, you're getting his take on it. And he sits there. The only difference is he pre-records instead of going live. He does go live, but he pre-records what I'm doing right now, which is just sitting here telling you what I think. You're getting something from the heart from John, and I always back him up. No matter where we're at, you know, I'm going to back him up just as a creator. I'm always going to be like, wait a minute, you're going to talk shit about John Crimes as a creator. You better check yourself and check yourself quick. See, that's the thing is I don't take these things personal. Just because I may criticize the way you do something as a creator, that's me holding a standard as a listener. That's me as a fan, as a follower, as a subscriber going, man, I want just straight up, man, just tell me what's going on. I don't want to hear bullshit just because you want to be first and beat this other guy. What does that leave me? How's that fair to me as a listener for you to do that? That's you taking me as a listener completely and totally for granted and not giving a shit about my place in your dynamic. All that matters is you and that other creator going to war with each other. I'm not interested in that shit. I don't care about that. Lay out the facts for me, the listener, or else what the hell are you doing on YouTube? Call that motherfucker on the phone and yell at him. Come on, man. Especially if you have the nerve to have a Patreon. If you have, you have paid members, you're cheating them out of their money. Come on, man. But I speak positively no matter how they feel about me personally. I don't got nothing against none of these people personally, but I speak positively about these creators, and I wanted to name them by name because I think it's okay to speak that, to name them by names when you're saying something positive about them. And I have nothing but positive things to say about Greg Hughes as a creator. I have nothing positive, nothing negative to say about Duty Ron as a creator. I have nothing negative to say about John Crimes as a creator. These are people I followed for a long time and listen to what they do because I respect what they do and how they do it. Yeah, Duty Ron is awesome. Wanda Strickland. Duty Ron is awesome, dude. You know, I mean, and it's funny, people will criticize John and be like, oh, well, John messes up his credibility by doing John Hinged and John Crimes. I don't want to hear that shit. That man, it's his crime coverage is untainted. It's untainted. Good for him for dabbling in two different worlds and being able to pull it off. Man can do the drama and he can do the crime. Great. And you're hating on him for that? Not me. I think that's pretty talented. I don't have that kind of talent, but I think that's pretty talented. You know? So I give the man credit. And yeah, man, before I go, yeah, I'm sorry about last night, man. Like, dude, last night was the most fun I had on a live stream in so long, guys. Last night was the most fun I had. Like, dude, these trolls were making me laugh, dude. It was so much fun. Even the trolls were putting out a positive vibe, man. It was a really, really fun live stream, man, and I had a good time. And then I went, and I don't regret doing it because, you know, I had a lot of people in chat. It was the most people I had in a long time, and it was really, really nice. And I had a genuine, just good time with everybody. And I don't regret what I got blocked for and putting that up there because there was no better way to explain my son than showing that clip. So, you know, but then I got an email saying that YouTube is blocking it, you know, so because it's a copyright thing, you know, it happens. And I just figured normally what happens is they just tell me that I can't monetize it. They just tell me you can't make any money off of it, but they never actually block it from being able to be viewed. But they absolutely did do that. So therefore, that's why it's not up. So I apologize for anybody who was counting on getting the replay on that and didn't get the replay. I mean, it's really not that big a deal. It was fun. We had a good time. But at the same time, you know, I went over the whole Madison Bell thing. And I said everything I needed to say about that. So that's it as far as that goes. But anyways, guys, I really appreciate you. I had a lot of fun again tonight, too. It's nice. It's nice hanging out with you guys. And for all my new subs, I really appreciate you being here. And I'm really hoping that you're enjoying the channel. And I'm not always going to talk about true crime, guys. I'm going to talk about some real random shit. As a matter of fact, I got something coming up where I'm going to have somebody on my panel and we're going to talk about fitness, and maybe it'll help somebody here. But somebody asked me for some pointers. I'm a certified trainer. I'm going to talk about diet, but I'm going to talk about how I apply Glera principles to my exercise routine. And that person, hopefully, what I want to do is get my brother in on that because he's actually a physical therapist and like a master trainer. So I really want to do that. Hopefully. So, you know, I might get, the thing about this channel is I might cover true crime, or I might get a wild hair up my ass and talk about whatever the hell I want. But I just hope that you guys enjoy it because I really enjoy hanging out with you guys. So on that note, guys, be safe, enjoy yourselves, and we will do this again very soon, my friends.